This bullet has Steve McQueen's name on it. It's certainly one of the roles, if not the role, he's best remembered for. Personally, I prefer The Magnificent Seven or The Great Escape. Oh wait, there's also The Sand Pebbles and his one and only Oscar nod. And we can't let Papillon get away. All great movies. But Bullitt is the cooler king of his movies. I saw this movie at the RKO Forum back in 1968, and it was a big hit. But with the possible exception of the Apollo 8 voyage to the moon, 1968 was a very tough year for this country, what with political assassinations and riots in the streets, and in some ways, this movie is a reflection of those times. But more on that later. First, we have to deal with the elephant in the room. And that elephant is the car chase. This movie is close to 60 years old, and some modern audiences may find it tame and over the hill. After all, age does matter, but so does size. Back then, to see this movie on a screen 40 feet tall is an altogether different experience than watching it at home on a Blu-ray disc. More specifically, those point of view shots taken from inside McQueen's Mustang as it jumps the streets of San Francisco, those shots actually made your stomach lurch. And that was one of the reasons why this movie was such a big hit. It was a physical experience, not unlike going over a roller coaster hill. That sensation is only there for a few fleeting seconds during the chase scene, but it grabs you all right. Steve McQueen is Frank Bullitt, a San Francisco cop who's assigned to guard a star witness before he testifies against the mob. At the time, this was touted as a change of pace for McQueen, who always played a rebel, but cop or not, he brings his taciturn cool to the part. Outside of the famous car chase, this movie has a few other firsts. It's the first time the word bullshit is used in a movie. The fact that it's said to Robert Vaughn, who plays an arrogant politician, makes it all the more satisfying. We also get a glimpse of what is essentially the first fax machine, called a telecopier here, as Bullitt and his superiors wait for the photo of the real bad guy. There's a ham-fisted scene when, after the discovery of a murdered woman, McQueen's girlfriend, played by Jacqueline Bisset, wonders how he can live in such a world and not be affected by the violence around them. His response is poorly written, but it pays off anyway in the final scene when McQueen shoots the bad guy in front of a horrified crowd at the airport. Beneath all the chills, thrills, and vibrations, this movie manages to score some points about the new modern world that was upon us in the 60s, how society was changing, and this movie is an exemplar of that. This was pointed out to me and my high school classmates as our history teacher decided he wanted to talk about some of the scenes in this movie. He talked about how Bullitt, coming home from work one day, stops at the local grocery and stocks up on TV dinners. Now, TV dinners were relatively new at the time, and our teacher pointed out that this was not only a character trait, but a social commentary. Personally, I think he just wanted to talk about the movie. The movie ends as McQueen goes home and looks at himself in the mirror, and the last shot is of his holstered gun. Steve McQueen's name is on this bullet, all right. And in 1968, so was ours. See you around the campus.